Hey everybody, Jeff aka GCurse here. Welcome to another GCurse Reacts. Today I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so it's been a little bit slower for me today. I finished up some gameplay videos, and I was thinking, what would I like to do next? And I was sitting here looking on YouTube, just looking for something to pass time, hoping that I feel a little bit better. And then I saw this pop up on the home screen. GotBot counts down top 10 overpriced Transformers on the secondary market. Normally, I don't really pay that much attention to what the established Transformers collector community, whatever you want to call them, thinks, because 99% of the time they're shills. If they're not shilling some bullshit like, say, toy hacks, for example, they're trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing with your collection. And to me, that rubs me the wrong way. The only one that I really pay attention to is Chris McFeely, because he offers a lot of insight when it comes to the lore of Transformers. Once in a while, I'll watch MGO 316, mainly because I need help to transform some of the figures that I have, like, say, Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. So I really don't pay that much attention to the establishment, basically, because they're not in it for you, the viewer. They're more in it to fill their pockets. So I thought I would, watch this guy's video, and that was an experience. So I'm going to do a react to that right about now. Okay, let's switch over. So 3, 2, 1.
Hey all, welcome to Monday, welcome to Countdown Day, and today's list kind of carried on from last week's list. Last week's list was the top 10 most overpriced Transformers. And people started to vote with aftermarket offerings. And I said, no, just overpriced at like MSRP. I had not specified that, but I didn't think I had to specify that. So that
Why do you think you did not need to specify that? If you ask your viewers a question like what is your favorite Transformer, you should expect there to be the answers to range the entire spectrum. It is your job, if you're wanting, like, say, from a specific lineage, I guess you could say, you prefer, like, you want to hear what are your favorite Transformers, but let's keep it to G1. Then you can only expect there to be what it is that you're wanting to know. If you just throw out a broad question, what's your favorite Transformer, you should expect and the entire spectrum. You see what I did with my hand here? It goes from the beginning to the very end. The fact is, like, I didn't think I needed to. That's more of a problem with you, boy. That's more of a problem with you, and it makes you sound like you're kind of like a little bit of a jerk. Are you a jerk? I think you are.
was my mistake. However, as people interpreted it in a different fashion, I said, you know what?
And that's their right to interpret. You didn't give any fucking parameters. You just basically said whatever the question was, and you let it go at that. You should fucking figure that people are going to interpret it and give you, answers that you may not be totally, expecting.
I'm going to disqualify aftermarket votes for last week. I'm going to stick to the MSRP, which we did. And that led to this, the top 10 most overpriced Transformers on the aftermarket, according to fans. I would say the ones that, have scalper prices. Now, some people get their back up and say, it's not scalping if something's a few years old and it's gone up in value, blah, 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 blah.
I'm only 57 seconds into watching this video. This video is over 19 minutes, by the way. 57 seconds, and I can already tell I fucking hate this person. I fucking hate this person. He sounds like a judgmental prick.
If you're charging something because you looked on, like...
By the way, that's the When I mentioned judgmental prick, that's the way I view a lot of people in the establishment when it comes to Transformers.
Like an eBay or something like that, and stock prices on there, those prices are scalper prices. And if you're charging the same thing, you're trying to scalp yourself. It's as simple as that. You can disagree with it, but I would suggest looking up the term and looking up how it's used in business.
God, this fucking guy. This fucking piece of shit. Oh, God. You come across people like... You don't even know some people. You just come across a person every now and then. And the way they talk, it takes everything mentally for you not to want to just right upside the side of the head. This is one of those goddamn situations. I'm hearing this guy, and I'm glad he fucking lives wherever he is, because by God, if I saw him walking on the street and he started talking to me like this, it'd be one of those situations where you'd probably get slapped upside the side of your head. Not because of him having an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. It's the way that he carries himself and he's talking to somebody. I'm listening to this prick talk, and it sounds like he's talking down to you. Oh, well, you think scalping is this? He sounds like a DSP Gaming, to be honest. And nobody should be connected to DSP Gaming.
That said, in order to avoid that sort of controversy, I said let's just keep it general and say the top 10 most overpriced Transformers on the aftermarket. However that is interpreted for you. That's our focus this time around in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey, one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Joe.
And before anybody asks, I edited out he had his intro. It went far too fucking long. It was fucking loud. I just edited that shit out. There was another section here I should have edited out, but I didn't. And I'll point it out when it happens.
Most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton to let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man.
Okay, I should have edited this whole spiel, this whole shilling out also, but I didn't. That's my fault. I should have edited it out because, my God, this guy's fucking shilling like he's trying to steal your wallet, it sounds like.
The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
you through spring. Or, of course,
The guy, it's shilling. That's basically all it is shilling right now. Holy fucking shit.
So, yeah, fans voted. This is specifically the top 10 most overpriced Transformers on the aftermarket. So if you're hunting for any of these, be prepared to either overpay, which I would never ever in a zillion years advise anyone to do for anything. Be patient.
Okay, this is the one thing that just fucking pisses me off watching this video. He will go into this whole you gotta be patient spiel. You know who people are? You know why they say you need to be patient? Because they already have what it is that they're telling you that you need to be patient about. Oh, you don't have hold on, let me get a figure and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So basically, he was saying you need to be patient, So let's say you desperately are wanting the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. It's a nice figure, by the way. You know, I suggest if you can that you get this figure. It's actually a pretty damn good figure. Anyway, he says, and you've been wanting this figure. You've been wanting this figure for so long. You ordered it from Amazon. Let's say, like it is with a lot of people, 3 days before, or hell, even the day that it launches. You got an email saying, sorry, your order's been canceled. Not enough product. You know, you're wanting this figure. So you start looking around, and you go to eBay and they have it for a higher price. Who is this guy? Who is this shithead to tell you, oh, don't pay whatever you think the figure is worth. You should be patient. You should wait. While he already has the figure. He already has the figure. He can fucking care less if you actually get it or not because he's not in the same boat with you. Who the fuck is he to tell you and dictate to you how you should and should not spend your money? If you want to spend your money, if you want to spend $200, $300, $400 to get this figure, that's your goddamn right. That's your goddamn right. If you want to spend, if you want to wait until the figure possibly gets a reissue, go ahead. That's your right also. What pisses me off are people like this guy who most likely has the figure and he tells you, oh, you should fucking wait. You should wait. Yeah, don't spend the money how you feel like you should spend it. Ultra Magnus, he is, recently he did get to announce that he is getting a reissue. But let's say that reissue announcement did not happen yet. Let's say it may never happen. Are you going to fucking wait and wait and wait and wait on the hopes that one day this figure would get a re-release, or are you just gonna have to kind of bite the bullet and go to, like, say, to Amazon or eBay and buy the figure at a higher cost? Do not let what these people say get to you. If you have the money and it does not put you into financial straits, who the fuck is this guy to tell you how you should and shouldn't spend your money?
Wait, something will either get a new version or it.
What happens if they don't want the new version? What happens if they want the Studio Series 86 version?
Will get re-released. Do not feed into overpaying. Just some friendly advice.
Well, my friendly advice is you shouldn't tell people what to do with their fucking money.
2 honorable mentions. They include Studio Series Ironhide, both the original. Wait, I take that back. Studio Series Movie Ironhide, both the original release, which I did review here on the channel, and the one from like the Anniversary 5-pack. Wildly overcharged. I think that Studio Series Ironhide is probably one due for a re-release in Studio Series. The other honorable mention is, and this one surprised me, the Titan Class Nemesis. Apparently that goes for as high as $600 on the aftermarket.
$600, huh? God damn, I gotta check this shit out. Hold on. $600. That's that. I have to check that shit out. Because did he say $600? I think he said $600. Hold on, let's see here. Transformers Nemesis Titan. What Titan Nemesis? I'm just curious, what is it? Okay, we got one for $589. We got some in the $400 range. Got one in the $384 range. $400, $465. Let's keep it. Let's narrow it down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's okay, hold on. See here. Let's, of course, new. Buy now. Let's do North America. Okay, what are we looking at here? 384, 449, 589. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit higher up there. 475. So we only really got a few, with those filters. Now, what the fuck did he say? Hold on. Because didn't he just say... Okay, let's try here.
And this one surprised me, the Titan Class Nemesis. Apparently that goes for as high as $600.
Okay, 600. So there, there was one, like I mentioned, the $589. But if you're still wanting, if you're still looking, you can find them for a little bit cheaper. 380, 499, 449. Is it what it was when it first released? No. But then again, you're dealing with a secondary market.
$100 on the aftermarket. I mean, it's not even that big of a Titan. It's it's like.
Oh, by the way, in case anybody is curious, I actually do have the Titan. Let me see here. I'm going to turn off my camera filter. Hold on. Oh, you can't really see it. It's see here. Well, it'd be towards the back right side. Wait, no. Hold on. Let me move my mic. Can I move my mic? There it is. Sorry. It's right there underneath the arc. It's an awesome figure. I actually like the art of the Nemesis. I never transformed it because I think the arc and the Nemesis, I think they are more awesome in their primary or in their alt mode, basically. Okay, let's switch it back. There we go.
The size of the arc, it's kind of average. It's very lanky. I'm sure it's good, but it's worth $600.
What this Slapnuts does not realize is it isn't based on what he fucking thinks. I could give two shits what this guy thinks. It's like every time I see a post on the Facebook Transformer groups. For example, let's say we got the War for Cybertron trilogy Bumblebee right here. And people are like, Jeff, how much is a reasonable price for this figure? You want to know what I tell people? A reasonable price is whatever you are willing to pay for this. I think I spent a little over $100 for this guy a couple years ago. Am I happy with it? Yeah, because I wanted the figure. Whatever you are comfortable spending is your choice. Don't let what people like this I get to you. Oh my God! Well, he says that $600, $600 is too much. Is it too much for you? If it is, then yeah, it's too much. But if you are willing to spend it and it does not, if it does not bankrupt you, who is he to say anything?
I find that one hard to believe. They did not make the list. Both are great offerings. If you can get them on a good deal, do it, I'm sure. But in the aftermarket, that might be hard to accomplish. Studio Series Movie Ironhide and Titan Class Nemesis. They didn't make the list. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do as we always do, and we're going to kick things off with number 10, Burst. Coming in at number 10, we kind of stick with Titans and, Metroplex. Generations Metroplex. And, of course, people that voted for Metroplex said, I never had him when he came out years ago on the aftermarket. He goes anywhere between, $250 and $500, sometimes even more.
When I actually bought this figure, oh my God, I was like, I think it was about a month ago. Me and a coworker, we went to a toy show in Vancouver, if I remember correctly, where it was. I actually posted a short video about it. I spent $400 for it, and I'm actually pretty happy because Metroplex was one of the figures I always wanted. And when I got back into collecting Transformers, I really wanted this figure. So I went to the toy show with my coworker, and they had it, and I bought it. Do I feel bad? No, because it's something I wanted.
Never ever get tired of my Metroplex. Whenever anybody asks me, like, what is your one favorite piece in your collection, it's always Metroplex. He always has a presence to me. I just love the guy. Would I have paid between $250 and $500 for him? I'd be.
And now I think during the time I had this muted, he said that I think his wife found it one and bought it for him. I think he said it was like $90. Hey, congratulations, you got it for a lower price. But who are you to say what people shouldn't spend it on? Should spend their money on?
Hard pressed, man. Real hard pressed. Because I just think that even the going rate for Titans is a bit much. Metroplex is great. but he is definitely one that tends to be overpriced on the aftermarket, and he takes the number 10 slot. Coming in at number 9 is Breakdown, Legacy Breakdown. This is the regular retail release. How do you know? Because I don't have the pieces, the little painting pieces on the window that the...
I actually, I have all the components for Minosaur. I never converted them into Minosaur. I will be honest, this, the Minosaur components, it's all the components were pretty damn difficult. I consider myself lucky. After a couple years, I was finally able to get all the pieces. So I consider myself very lucky to have them all.
Lad here, you do this to make him a leg, right? So like I understand that, but it's definitely not worth overpaying for. Is it a true blue deluxe? Yeah, MSRP, it was definitely that. I didn't find it to be a great deluxe. It was like, okay, it's okay. That's like, even now looking at it, like this side here is not quite in right. Like, oh my goodness. It's just, I don't know. I find it rough. I find it rough. That said, I detested the Combiner Wars version of this guy. Loathe that mold. So, I don't know. They struggled to do Breakdown well, I guess. Yeah, I get the appeal. I get why people want it. I definitely think it's due for a re-release. Don't overpay for this. I would say wait for the re-release. I gotta believe that it's gonna come, right?
That's what this guy likes to offer. He likes to offer, wait for the re-release. Wait for they may do a re-release, but then again, they may not. How many figures in the past have we waited for a goddamn re-release that never comes to fruition? The only reason that, like I mentioned already, the only reason this guy is so comfortable telling you what to do with your money and telling you to wait is because you're not in the same boat with him. He already has what it is that you are desperately trying to find. Like I said, if you, however you want to buy it, it's your call. If you want to spend normal MSRP and buy it from a normal store, go ahead. If they have it and you want it, go ahead. If you have the money and you want to go to secondary market, that's your right also. Don't let what people like this guy say dictate to you what to do.
It's gonna come sooner or later, right? I don't know. Legacy Breakdown takes the number 9 slot. Number 8 is one that always sort of surprises me when people say it was hard to find, because I saw it numerous times.
This is something that I hear a lot when it comes to goddamn the higher the elitist, I guess you could really say, when it comes to the Transformers collectors realm. I don't understand, why people said that they had so much problems trying to find a figure. They were in my location without any issues. Just because they're in your location doesn't mean other locations have a problem finding one. For me, I was damn lucky to find one day. I was at Walmart, and it was the only time I ever saw one. They actually had the Studio Series 86 Perceptor, not the reissue that is going to be coming out with Ramhorn. I'm talking about the original Studio Series 86 Perceptor. That was the only time I ever saw that figure in a store. Don't fucking say, well, my Walmart had all these figures. I don't understand how people can say they don't have it. Just because yours have it doesn't mean others don't. That's an elitist piece of shit attitude you have, and you need to get rid of that shit.
And the first time I saw it, I bought it, and then I saw it 3 or 4 times after, and just let people locally know, because I had no idea how messed up the distribution was actually going to end up being for Misfire. Titans Return Misfire, apparently on the aftermarket, goes for insane prices. Those that did quote a price said that he goes for anywhere that they've seen from $175 to $250. The dude was $17.99 Canadian when he was released. Every bit worth that. He's tremendous. Excellent articulation. Excellent transformation. Bundle of fun. Yes, I do have a custom version of his Target Master here with him. I love the guy. Would I pay $200 for it? No. I don't think anybody should. But I also feel like that he is due for a reissue. Now, you might say, yeah, well, that's never going to happen. I'm sure that I saw a listing recently that a Slug Slinger was going to be released. Didn't say package refresh, so I don't know if it's a new mold or if it's a...
It should be a new mold, because there should be no fucking reason that in this time and age, with Hasbro pulling in as much money as they are, that they are still resorting to re-releasing Titans Return era figures. They are resorting to Titans Return era figures when it came to Topspin and Twin Twist. That's part of the Wreck and Rule and the Wreck and Doom collections. The Cliff Jumper Verse 4-pack that came out last summer. It had, I think its name is Squeeze Play. That's a Titans Return era figure. There is no reason that they are still reusing those molds.
Titans Return release, but you know what? If they're gonna do Slug Slinger again, or re-release him again, then why not this guy? Currently overpriced on the aftermarket, but let's hope that a reissue or a new version kind of puts the kibosh on those high prices for you, for me, and for everyone.
He actually acts like he's in there with you. He already has the figure. Is he planning on buying another figure, another Misfire? Probably not. Who is he to tell you what to do?
Everyone. For now, though, Misfire takes the number 8 slot. Coming in at number 7, there were votes for like a, I'm going to call it a multi-pack really, but a number of people were good enough to say, hey, because that's a multi-pack, I would say this particular member of the multi-pack is the one that is overpriced worst. And I'll explain why. Because what the vote was actually for is the Coneheads 2-pack, specifically Dirge. People said, look, we get that both Dirge and Ramjet have both had an individual reissue. But the actual Coneheads 2-pack, when it first came out, was so hard to get. In fact, Canada didn't get any, that it caused people to overcharge an awful lot. $300, $400, I even heard of $550 for these two Earthrise Coneheads. I'm really sad for people that overpaid. I'm really glad that both of them got reissues because it was so...
Now, I will go on record and say that I dislike the idea of exclusives, period. It doesn't matter if it's an exclusive for Target, for Walmart, for Toys R Us, if you're up in Canada. Let's see what else is there. Walgreens, for some reason, Walgreens got an exclusive once or twice before. Amazon. It doesn't matter what store it is. I do not agree with the concept of exclusives because it really kind of limits the consumer from being able to get that figure. So I will go on record and say I do not like that whole concept of the whole Elite Seeker 2-pack from Earthrise. I was actually lucky. I pre-ordered it, and amazingly my pre-order wasn't canceled. So I can actually understand what a lot of people, the pain that a lot of people are feeling because they really wanted that 2-pack, and Amazon, they don't tell you exactly how much they have. They just open it up and they say, if you want to pre-order, go ahead pre-order. They don't tell you if they have like a supply of, let's say, 1,000 copies, 5,000 copies, 100 copies. They don't tell you that. They just say, oh, hey, go ahead pre-order it. And you pre-order it and you're hoping. Oops, sorry, release date, you've been canceled. I dislike the idea of exclusives because ultimately, like it is with me with some figures, some collectors will just literally be left, out in the rain basically. And it should not be like that. It should not be like that at all.
So hard to get. Why did people choose Dirge more than Ramjet? People chose Dirge because they said with Dirge, you only had that one reissue. With Ramjet, you had the proper reissue, but let's not forget, Ramjet also had a G2 version of himself released in selects. So you can always get that and use it as your ramjet, or even do a custom paint job on it because it's the same dude. And
Do you know how to, hey, don't spend what you think you should spend on a figure. Why don't you just paint one? Huh? This guy literally acts like that everybody is an artist. This guy is literally just trying to tell you, not to do with your own money what you want to do with your own money. I would make you a bet. I bet you my bottom fucking dollar that let's say, oh god, let's throw out a name of a transformer. Fuck. Let's go with Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. Let's say this guy actually did not have this figure, and I posted a video, and I go, hey, you want this figure? Do not spend your own money how you decide you should on the secondary market. Don't do that. That's wait. You should fucking wait. You know damn well somebody like this guy here would get fucking pissed off because he's being literally told what he can and cannot do with his own money.
some even said, yeah, the ramjet version of the mold was used for example, Sandstorm. I think Cloud Cover, if I'm not mistaken, though I think Cloud Cover had some extra molding, to be honest. So I get it. They said the actual, like the sort of wings and stuff that Dirge has just made him rarer, just made him not as used as the ramjet version. And therefore, Dirge is the one that's overpriced worst. And he takes the number 7 slot. Coming in at number 6, this may sound a bit funny because it's going to sound a little bit repetitive because number 6 is another conehead with thrust.
I was actually lucky to get this guy. I pre-ordered this guy. This guy was a Target exclusive. When I originally pre-ordered him, they actually sent me an email just before launch or release. Sorry, Jeff, you're not going to be able to get this figure. And then within less than a couple hours after I got that email, I got another one saying, "Hey, congratulations, your package is on the way." So I was honestly pretty damn happy, with the exception of that toy show I went to with my coworker about a month ago. I only saw that figure one other time, which was at that toy show. That figure is fucking rare.
Needs a reissue because again, the prices that this guy goes for in the aftermarket are insane, especially where Dirge and Ramjet have both been reissued. Now this guy fetches an even higher price because he's that last missing piece. I really hope he gets the reissue that fans deserve, and that those high prices, you can stick it right to all those scalpers, and you know what? They can sit on their unsold stuff.
I honestly wonder how many of this guy's collection actually came from the secondary market. I'll make you a bet that at least a good portion, let's say 5 figures. I'll make you a bet at least 5 of those figures actually came from the secondary market. And here you have this piece of shit here, literally just dumping on the same group that he probably got some of his collection from. But then again, he's one of the establishment, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I not shocked you have somebody who is from the establishment telling you what you should and should not do while literally not following their own advice?
Stock. Thrust is fine, but don't overpay for him. You know what I always say? Be patient. I really gotta believe. I haven't heard anything, but I really gotta believe that this guy is in the offing somewhere, right? Hopefully.
This guy, gotta be patient. That's this whole guy's motto for this goddamn video. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. Be patient. You gotta be patient. Meanwhile, he's holding the fucking figure. He is telling you, you need to be patient. While he doesn't need to be patient, he has a fucking figure. And let's just fucking say that they never release Thrust. They never release Thrust again. The Thrust we got from Target is the only Thrust they're going to release for the next 30 years. Is he expecting you to honestly wait 30 years for another thrust to get released? And keep in mind, the longer you wait, the higher the prices are going to go.
For now, he takes the number 66 slot. And now a hush falls over the crowd because we've reached the ever-coveted, ever-popular halfway mark. And at the halfway mark, we have this guy. That's right, Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. And he was bought up not only by fans, but also by scalpers with the intention of overcharging right away. And on the aftermarket, those that voted for him quoted prices between $250 and $400. I'm assuming that depends on the currency, right? As a commander class, he was already a little bit expensive to begin with, and by the math, he's the least commander class of all the commander classes. His mass is the lowest. He doesn't.
Okay, so like I said, I watched this already. Is there? Now, I don't know that much about the market and all that. I've heard from people a classification of a figure is based on like how the engineering, basically. This Slapnuts here talks about the mass, like how much grams or whatever the fuck it was that makes up the figure. I've heard it could be the paint job. I've heard everything from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum when it comes to the classification of these figures. When I got back into collecting Transformers around 2018, I thought honestly it was the size, not the gram, not the measure of grams, but literally like the size. So whatever the size Ultra Magnus here is, in my, I thought whatever the size this guy is, that would be considered commander class. But I hear a lot of different things. Like I said, size, engineering, grams, or I've heard a lot. Is there an actual I don't want to say definition, but does Hasbro actually mention what classifies for the classifications of these figures?
Have as much paint as some other offerings like Motormaster or Rodimus, for example. His articulation's all there. It's pretty great articulation. His engineering is pretty good, though I do find the knees and the way you collapse them for transformation a little wonky. And I do wish that there was a panel behind his arm for when you want to swing his arm back. Minor gripes. I certainly, when I reviewed him, said that the whole package is definitely a commander class value, but it's not worth overpaying for. It's just not. But you know me, I don't think anything is worth overpaying for. Patience is a virtue, and I've heard that this guy is slated for a re-release. I don't know if that's confirmed. Maybe if somebody does know if that's confirmed, you can let me know in the comments and I'll pin it at the top. For now, when it comes to Ultra Magnus, should you overpay for it? Absolutely not. Sooner or later, you'll get your due if you are patient.
I swear to God, if he throws that, and he will, I swear to God, if he throws that whole, if you're patient, why do people have to be patient? Why do people have to be patient? If they have the money, who's anyone to say how anyone should spend their money? It's like I said, it's that whole rules for thee, not for me. That's what I'm getting when I'm hearing this guy talk. Because I'll make you a fucking bet that this guy, he will do anything possible to get the figures he wants. And if that means going to secondary market, I'll make you a bet he is fucking popular under a sock account on those secondary markets.
He's a wonderful offering, but in the aftermarket, he has certainly started to fetch, I guess, quite the pretty penny, and he takes the number 5 slot. Coming in at number 4, we have this. Once again, it is HasLab Unicron. You know me, I don't think that this was anywhere close worth the value when it was released at retail. I thought it was ludicrously overpriced, and I thought it was insulting.
Now, I'm not sure if that is the same figure, but look what is behind him. Look at what is behind him. We have Unicron in the background right behind him. I'm not sure if that's the actual HasLab or if that is the one that's called Cell. I think it's called Cell. But the fact is, if the one behind him is the HasLab, And he openly just said that it wasn't worth what it was at launch. He is a hypocrite. He is a hypocrite. He is telling you not to spend whatever you want on a figure. Yet here he is. He has a figure that could have been like $600, right off, right when HasLab shipped them out. And he's telling you not to buy something because it could be too expensive. Do you understand why I don't follow what people like this guy says? And the more I look at that Unicron in the background, here, let's actually do some research. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Hold on. Hold on, crap. There. Because I am curious, is that the legitimate HasLab is that the legitimate HasLab Unicron? Let's see here. GotBot. Well, it's got. I probably don't have his last name spelled right. GotBot. Oh, not Unicron. Let's see here. Does he actually have a? Excuse me. Been wanting to sneeze for a while. Okay, no, that's not that one. Enter Unicron, discuss both sides of the debate. Both sides, GotBot. Okay, I don't know if he actually has Unicron. There's no video here, but as you can see in the background here, hold on. He has it in the background. But the fact is, he's saying it wasn't worth the cost that Hasbro was selling it for. But he still bought it. If that is the one from Hasbro, he's saying it's not worth the cost, but still he has it. And yet he's telling people how they should spend their money. I'm just not a fan of that business practice.
In the aftermarket, I don't know if any of them sell. I've seen prices myself everywhere from $11.99 and $1,500. Somebody quoted something like $2,700 or $2,800, and the most recent one that I saw was $33.93.
Okay, now hold on. I want to show somebody this because I saw this a while ago. Because I've actually been curious about buying Unicron because for quite a while, my mom passed away a few years ago, and during that time, I kind of stopped collecting Transformers. It's like it was when my mom died. It's like literally part of me just shut down. And everything I considered like a hobby, it kind of fell by the wayside. I just did not want to do anything. I just, And Unicron was actually one of the Transformers I wanted to get, when I originally heard about it from HasLab. Hold on. I don't know why he didn't mention this. Okay, hold on. I gotta show this guy, show this to everyone. Hold on. Okay, so we are at eBay. 2,700, 2,100, 2,900. Kind of like what he's mentioning. Hold on, let me scroll up. Your eyes do not... Wait, hold on. Your eyes do not deceive you, my friend. $49,500. $49,000 for... Now, I think it's just one. I'm not sure. It doesn't... Let's see here. Does it actually say if you're getting one or two? Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. This is like condition. Transform War of Cybertron. Yeah. It doesn't. Let's see here. Please no any refund graded. Must be, it doesn't say exactly if you're getting one or two. I'm guessing it's just one figure that you're getting. But the fact is, $49,500. I can imagine somebody who's like a uber rich, like a nepo baby, actually buying something like this. And the thing is, this is being viewed by 44 people in the last 24 hours. They're watching this, seeing if somebody would actually buy this thing for almost $50,000. $50,000. I'm amazed that this guy didn't mention the fact. Did not mention the fact that this figure is going for nearly $50,000.
1,390 for a glorified shell former. Sorry, don't get it. That's ludicrous. Don't pay that for this. It wasn't really worth the value at MSRP.
Says the guy who possibly has it on his shelf in the background over here that you can see.
When it was being backed, it's definitely not worth its value
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue on.
on the aftermarket. Yeah, HasLab Unicron takes the number 4 slot.
It's easy to tell somebody that they don't need or should not have to pay for something when the person making those claims has it already.
And now we are into the top 3. And at number 3, we have another Target exclusive with this guy, Runabout. I was super lucky to get this guy at my local Toys R Us. And I did not see many of him at all. I think I saw him twice. The distribution for this guy was seriously flawed. Why would you do one half of this duo as a regular release and make the other half a...
I agree with him. Even though I dislike the whole idea of exclusive figures and everything, if you're going to make a figure exclusive, it should not be a part of a group or a subgroup. Seekers, Throttle Bot, or Bots, or whatever the fuck this guy is member of. It should be like figures that are not part of a group, like a part of a set. And it should be really some obscure figure. Run Amok, Runabout, where they were in the actual cartoon itself. Have figures that are like that were never part of the cartoon. That's not part of a set. Have them be the exclusive figures if you really want to have an exclusive figure.
An exclusive. That made no sense whatsoever. A lot of people got Run Amok and repainted it. We are getting this mold coming up again as like Devastation, like blue, like foot soldier type of thing. Again, much like with Thrust earlier, this guy's absolutely due for a reissue, not as an exclusive. Obviously, not as an exclusive. But I know fans have clamored for Thrust for a long time. Fans have clamored for Runabout for a long time. I like the mold. I like the red and the black. But I absolutely believe that everybody should have fair opportunity to get this guy and all Transformers at a fair price. Yeah, I get why he's rare, and I get why people overcharge for him. But again, I gotta believe that this is one of those guys that sooner or later will get the reissue he rightly deserves. For now, he takes the number 3 slot. At number 2, we have one that I'm a bit surprised about because when it was released, I saw lots of this guy.
Oh god, here we go back to the... I'm shocked that people said that they never saw this figure at the store, but where I live, they had a lot of this figure. We are back at that excuse now, or that... I don't want to say excuse. That's not the right term, right thing to say. It's like it's their... I don't want to say motto, but it's like a claim. It's a claim basically. And like I said before, when it came to Misfire, just because you have a figure that is, that is being sold in a lot, at one store in one state, it doesn't mean another store in some other state is going to be bone dry.
I feel like a lot of people couldn't afford it or overlooked this release at the time and kind of regret it now. Luckily, though I've been kind of harping on the idea of a reissue with a lot of these, this one is confirmed to be getting an upcoming Studio Series reissue. It is Grimlock. And, pardon me, the 86 Grimlock. Yes, do the reissue. I understand why people would want this. Once he was gone, here's the thing. I saw plenty of him.
I don't understand how it is that people cannot grasp this concept. And it was even the same concept. Oh God, I can't recall. I'm not sure if it was Prime versus Prime or oh God, what's his name? Either Prime versus Prime or I think it was it's TJ Omega if I remember correctly. One of those two guys, they crapped on the thought of Studio Series 86 Perceptor getting another re-release. And they're like, oh, why is this figure getting such a getting another reissue? This figure is common maybe common where you fucking live. It's not common everywhere. Like I said, I was lucky to get my Studio Series 86 Perceptor a couple years ago. I just happened to go to a Walmart one morning. I was getting groceries. I thought I would walk by the Transformers section because I normally don't, because that one specific Walmart, the Transformers selection is always empty. And they actually had the figure. They had a lot of other figures I already had, but they had Perceptor, which I did not have at the time. I don't understand this mentality like, well, my store has it, all the other stores should have it. It doesn't fucking work like that. And for people who are supposed to be in the know, how the fuck is it that they don't realize that? How the fuck is it that they don't realize that just because one store has it, other stores don't? It's like they managed to somehow have, they can it's like they have the basic grasp of it when it's like, well, sometimes exclusives are not all there. They can understand that sometimes stores will run, or Amazon, for example, will run out of exclusives. But for some goddamn reason, they cannot carry that logic to normal figures in normal stores. Once again, it was the time when my mom passed away. I did not want to do anything after she passed away a couple years ago. I worked, I came home, I had dinner, I showered, I went to bed, rinse and repeat for nearly a fucking year. During that time, so many goddamn Transformers that I was collecting fell by the wayside. I ended up having to spend thousands of dollars to try and catch up to where to catch up and get everything completed. And this was just now, when it comes to Grimlock was never even in my area. And I'm pretty sure that he was in a lot of other areas, but he was not in my area. So I had no choice but to buy it from a third party on Amazon. Now, this was back when the re-release of Grimlock was just a rumor. I mean, it was like a really, really early rumor. It was something like you could imagine, like to be kind of dramatic. It's like hearing people in the back room of a bar talking about it, for example. Hey, did you hear that Grimlock is getting a reissue? It was so, the rumor was so new that nobody knew for sure that we were actually going to be getting a Grimlock. So I actually had, recently, last year, I was starting to buy the Studio Series 86 Dinobots. I had Sludge. Sludge was like the most common figure to buy. Sludge was actually pretty popular where I lived. I bought Slug. I once saw Slag. Jeff, his name isn't Slag. It's whatever the fuck it is. No, his name is fucking Slag. It's Slag. Slug. Slug is what Slag is. Sludge. Did I say Sludge or Slug or Sludge? Anyway. Sludge. The Brontosaurus or whatever the fuck he is. He was the common one. when I was working after my mom died, I once saw Slag at Target. Did not pick him up. Like I said, I didn't want to do anything except work. So I ordered Slag, and I ordered Snarl from Slag was third party on Amazon. Snarl was just a standard. It was, from Amazon itself. I needed to get Grimlock. And sadly, I had no choice but to buy him. Hold on, right back. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. So I bit the bullet. $319, as you can see here. The people are going to say, well, Jeff, there was, the rumor, and the key word there was rumor. I was not going to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long for this rumor to actually come to take shape. As of today, when I'm recording this, April 10th, it's only been like recently announced, if I remember correctly. The figure Grimlock has not actually been reissued yet. And the thing is, there's no guarantee that you'd still be able to get the reissue. So it's like, do I wait on a possible rumor that may never even come to take shape? Or do I buy the figure? And as you can see here, I bought the figure. Also, the thing is, it's the mentality I always have. It's my way of justifying it. If you wait, the price is just going to get higher also. But yeah, so I ended up buying this figure, and do I feel bad about it? No. It was a pill I had to swallow. But then again, I wanted all the Dinobots, so I was going to have to pay the price.
And he didn't go fast, but once he was gone, I never saw him restocked. That was the thing. It seemed like he had a fairly wide release, at least here, but it was a one-time deal, and if you didn't get it then, you weren't going to get it. I think a lot of people got burned waiting for a sale for this guy. I think that was the problem. He is a true blue leader, and you know me, if he wasn't, I would not say that he was. If I didn't think he was worth the money of a leader class value, I wouldn't encourage you to buy it. But I definitely think if you can get the reissue, get it. Scalper prices for this guy, $300-400? Absolutely, positively not. That's ludicrous and ridiculous.
Don't tell me how to spend my money, shitface. This is coming from a guy who basically said HasLab Unicron was too much at MSRP when he first launched. And look what he has behind him. I'll be damned if that is not HasLab Unicron. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't give a flying fuck what this guy says. You have a right to spend your money how you want. And for him to literally tell me that, oh no, you should not spend my money, I should not spend my money the way I want, it's fucking bullshit.
Especially when there's tons of versions of this mold, from the yellow one to the blue one to the shattered glass. He's wonderful. Any version of this mold.
What if people want the Studio Series 86 variant? Who are you to say yes or no? I'm sorry, did you give them the money to spend? No? Then shut the fuck up.
Is wonderful. It's a terrific leader class offering. If you're holding out for the gray lad, be patient. A reissue is coming. I know it's hard to wait, but old GotBot's not trying to steer you wrong. Grimlock, heavily overpriced on the aftermarket, on the secondary market. Thankfully getting a reissue because he is absolutely wonderful. For now, he takes the number 2 slot. And now here we are, very tippy top, number 1, most overpriced, most scalped, most ludicrously sought after on the aftermarket would be.
Okay, quiz time, ladies and gentlemen. Quiz time. The figure he is about to show. Do you think, or that he's going to mention, Do you think he actually owns the figure? Yes, no, or not sure? Let's see here, ladies and gentlemen.
Green light.
If you guessed yes, then congratulations, you're right.
Siege green light that used the Power of the Primes Fembot mold. A lot of people that voted for this said terrible mold. No, it's not. It's a great mold. I don't understand what people's problems are with this mold. It's wonderful. I love it. Especially for the Fembots. It's svelte enough that, it has like a feminine quality to it. Was it overused? Yeah, sure. It was retooled and reshelled and...
Okay, so green light. Green light's actually one of the figures I had pre-ordered from Amazon, and like I said, this one was actually, I think it was just a day or two before it was to release. Sorry, Jeff, not enough of this figure to ship you right now. Basically, we will email you when we have a new ship date for you. And then they never shipped it, and then come to find out they canceled the order. And this is just one of the reasons I dislike exclusives. I don't even think this was an exclusive at the time, though. Was it? Let's see here. I'm not sure if this was an exclusive at the time. Let's see here. All I know is I pre-ordered it from Amazon, and the motherfucker never came. It never came. I ended up repainting. I bought a Chromia from Siege, and I just repainted it. It's not perfect, but at least, Let's see, War for Cybertron Siege. Okay, let's see here. Only from, Greenlight and Dazzle Strike were only available from... Hold on. They were only available from Amazon. Okay, so it was an exclusive. But yeah, like I said, I pre-ordered it, and the motherfucker never came. Never came. I would not mind seeing this, even though I'm happy with the figure I customized and I painted, I'm actually, I'm happy with it. I would not mind seeing this figure get like a whole new release. Not just a reissue, but a whole new release with modern modern articulation and everything.
Recolored too often, but you know what? It's better than not having the Fembots. I thought that they were long overdue, and honestly, I prefer this mold wildly to like the Siege Chromia retool. That's trash.
Okay, what, I have Chromia. I don't understand, like, why is it trash? I thought Chromia was a good figure. But then again, this is coming from somebody who thinks that you should and should not spend your money how you want.
And I honestly prefer this mold to like the Legacy Alita 1 Minerva mold. I like that okay, but this is just better. It has much better articulation. Anyway, I digress. This was overpriced at MSRP. In the States, a lot of people say that the deluxes at the time were $17.99. This was $24.99 because of the Battlemaster. Here in Canada, this was, Power of the Primes was, a deluxe at the time was $19.99. And the price for her on Amazon in Canada was $59.99, which was, yes, overpriced and idiotic and ludicrous. I think she needs a reissue, or she needs a whole new version. If you really want your Orthea done and you actually want her complete,
I could care less about the whole combiner aspect. I just want green, I don't mind having a green light figure. That is one I did not have to customize and paint from a whole different figure. If it combines, I could care less.
then you really need this version. Don't overpay for it, though. I think a reissue would make sense. However, if you don't care about Orthea and you would just like to round out your Fembots with a version of Greenlight, then maybe a reissue, or not a reissue, maybe a retool, a remold, a new mold, I don't know. But yeah, she was overpriced at MSRP because she was exclusive again, and then she got bought up so fast Then on the aftermarket, she became absolutely preposterous. Great way to describe what her price is on the aftermarket. Preposterous. And Greenlight takes the number 1 slot. 10 down to 1 once again, and there's a lot on there that are overpriced, and I find this such a hard topic to do because I always say that I'm looking out for my wallet and yours.
Oh God, okay. I ended up actually stopping the recording there. I could not continue on. I when he started the holier than thou, I was looking out for you. I felt like fucking throwing up, to be honest. I felt like throwing up when I started hearing him. Oh, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about, I could fucking careless. He doesn't think about you. The fact is that what we had here, ladies and gentlemen, was somebody who had literally every figure that he was talking about. I'm not sure if he still had Ultra Magnus, but it sounds like he at least had him at one point. He had figure after figure after figure after figure. And here we have somebody telling you that you need to wait. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off. It rubs me the wrong way. It's like, who the fuck are you to say that somebody should wait? That's not your position. That's not your place. If the consumer wants to spend money going to a third party, to a scalper, let them. You didn't give them their money. It'd be one thing if he gave them the money and goes, do not use it as scalpers. He doesn't. He doesn't. You most likely had to bust your ass to get the money that you have. You should spend it how you want. Okay, that's it. See you later. Peace out.